This is the funeral test. And today, we're going to talk about how to pass it by building your body, building your mind, and building your spirit in a way that leaves a legacy worth honoring. Welcome to First Responder Fitness with Carl Wimmer, where armor is forged through mental, spiritual, and physical preparation. Welcome to First Responder Fitness with Carl Wimmer. I am your host, Carl Wimmer, and I sure thank you for joining me again for another week, another episode, and just spending some time out of your busy life, your busy schedule with us here at First Responder Fitness. I hope today's episode is helpful to you. I hope that it is enriching to you. And I really look forward to discussing this with you. It's something that has been on my mind, something that has been on my heart. And at the end of this, if you have found benefit or value in it, I would hope that you would subscribe, hit like, and share it with your friends and your family. Jumping right into this today, I would like you to close your eyes if you're able to. If you're driving, of course, don't worry about it. But I want you to close your eyes and imagine your funeral. I know, I'm jumping right into it. Imagine your funeral, though. Everyone you love is standing there. Family, friends, work colleagues. What will they say about you? What will your children say about you? What will your spouse, if they outlive you, and for this little exercise, we're going to assume that they do, what will they say about you? What will your legacy be? Will they say that you are strong, wise, and unshakable in spirit? Or will some of them say that you wasted your potential? You missed key moments in your life, and that you lived a life with some major regrets behind you. This is the funeral test. And today, we're going to talk about how to pass it by building your body, building your mind, and building your spirit in a way that leaves a legacy worth honoring. Here at First Responder Fitness, we cover the three major aspects of what I believe makes a wholesome, whole, prosperous life. That is your physical fitness, your mental fitness, and your spiritual fitness. I believe this is the triad or the triangle of a prosperous life. And that is the motivation behind this podcast. And it is those three things that I believe that your legacy is built on. Give me a moment and let me explain to you, and let's just parse this out. Let's just talk. Let's just talk about this like friends. Just listen to me like I'm old Uncle Carl talking to you right now. And I want you to really, really take inventory of your life. The first aspect of this triangle at First Responder Fitness, this triad that I want to get into, is your physical fitness. Leaving a legacy about your physical fitness. You know, your body isn't just a temple. It is your ticket to showing up for life. You missed the mark here, and every missed hug, every missed laugh with your kids and your grandkids, every missed game, every missed memory is your fault. If you miss the mark on physical fitness, everything that you miss in life because of your physical inability to do the things that would create wonderful memories is your fault. I've been there. I've watched people I care about miss important moments because their bodies didn't show up. And they hadn't showed up for their bodies for decades. And I don't want that to happen to me or you. My mother and my father, both amazing people. My mother, God rest her soul, passed away a year ago last month. And she missed out on so many memories that she could have made with my kids, with my siblings' kids, with our family, because largely the last 10, 12 years of her life, she was disabled. She was not in any way, shape, or form into physical fitness. She was not into health. She was not into longevity. She was really obese as far as my entire life. I don't remember a time when she was not obese, and that caught up with her. And so the last 10 years, maybe even 15 years of her life, she was so disabled because of her physical degradation that she missed out on beautiful, beautiful memories and opportunities that I know she would regretted. I know she regretted. And my father, although he is in good physical condition as far as like he's always been strong, he's always exercised, he has allowed injuries to really keep him shut in many ways. He should have probably gotten his knees replaced 25 years ago, but out of stubbornness or what have you, he didn't. And so he misses out on a lot of important things as well. And I remember thinking just recently, I am within weeks of my first grandbaby being born. My daughter, she's ready to go this month. And I'm sitting here thinking, I want to be able to run around with my grandbaby. I want to see their first steps, hear their first words. And I want to be there for decades, active. Not the grandpa that they have to come visit, but the grandpa and the grandma, because my wife is totally in on this, the sexy grandma and the grandpa who go and visit and engage with our grandkids. I don't want just a few fleeting years. And as I was thinking about that, that was just kind of a wake-up call to me to retake inventory. Am I doing the right things? Physical fitness isn't vanity. It's freedom. Physical fitness is so much more than pretty muscles, abs, and looking good on the beach. Physical fitness is freedom to play, to protect, and to fully live life. At the end of your life, will your family be able to say you were the type of person who is in the kind of physical condition so you could always show up? You were always in the type of physical condition you could always show up to grandkids' dance recitals, baseball games, that you could play on the playground, that you could do those things. You don't need to chase a perfect physique. That's silly. You need to chase functionality, resilience, and longevity. Train your body so that it serves you, so it serves your family, so that it serves your life for the rest of your life. Not just the mirror. Who cares about the mirror? Yeah, that's important. But you need to chase functionality. That's why physical fitness is so important, plays such an important part of your legacy. Because you can either be remembered as the grandparent who sat in the rocking chair and only visited with the grandkids when they come to see you on holidays, or you can be remembered as the active, fun grandparent, the one who served, the one who loved deeply, and the one who protected, and the one who created memories. I know which one I want to be. Which one do you want to be? The second portion of the first responder fitness triangle and the second portion of your legacy is really going to come from your mental fitness, your sharp mind, and your mental resilience. This is for all of you, but it's especially important for you first responders because you deal with so much trauma in your career. You deal with so much in life that if you don't have a robust plan for your mental health, it can ruin you. It can make you so callous toward the world that you aren't open to receiving and giving love the way you should. You know, a weak mind will let your body fail, and it will let your spirit wander, which we'll talk about here in a minute, the spiritual fitness. Mental toughness isn't about ignoring your emotions, right? You know, we always hear men don't cry, men should be tough, men this, men that, men whatever. Let me tell you something. Being tough mentally is not about ignoring your emotions. It's about managing them. How many times as a first responder, or, you know, how many times as a parent have you stared fear in the face and you answered the call? Mental fitness is about showing up anyway, even when you're afraid, even when things aren't going the way you want them to go. It's about not being crushed by life and showing up every day for those who are most important to you. You know, as a first responder, I've had moments when hesitation would have cost lives, mine or someone else's. No question about it. You didn't have time to hesitate. You didn't have time to second guess. You had to make a split-second decision in order to do the most good for the most people, to save your life or to save the life of somebody else. These things, these moments in time of my career as a police officer and as a SWAT officer, these moments of my life, just as living life in general, taught me that strength isn't just physical. Your brain is the command center. It's the command center for everything you do. It's the command center that drives you towards physical fitness. It's the command center that drives you to good nutritional choices. It's the command center that helps you to be intentional in your relationships with people. You need to train it. You need to train your mental fitness, challenge your mental fitness, and you need to protect it because your legacy is built in thinking and not just doing. Will you be remembered for your wisdom? Will you be remembered for the wise choices you made? Or will you be remembered? Remember, this is the funeral test. Will you pass the funeral test when it comes to the wisdom that you had, the mental clarity you had, the decisions you made in life, how you taught your kids, how you raised your family? You know, some of the things that you can do to help with your mental fitness is really daily mental training. You can journal, write down things, and it will help you to your memories. It helps you to reflect on life. And reflection in and of itself is mental training, reflecting on life, reflecting on where you've been, reflecting on where you want to go. In fact, just recently, I read that an adult makes 35,000 decisions every single day. I found that insanely high, but the average adult makes 35,000 decisions every day. And the overwhelming majority of those decisions, they don't even think about. They just are doing them. And that we get into such a routine of non-reflection, we get in such a routine of habits that life begins to shrink wrap around you. You get so tied in to what you always do, what you always think, what you always say, that you become this shrink-wrapped version of a person. And in fact, this particular article I was reading said that a majority of people live the same year over and over for 70 years. Never being intentional, never taking control of their mental reflection, their mental acuity, never spending time in quiet focus and challenging yourself, questioning your beliefs, questioning your worldview, questioning where you've been, questioning where you want to go, making intentional decisions for your future. These are all aspects of mental fitness and mental health, and they will all play a role in the funeral test. Are you going to be known as someone who just went through the motions and lived life the same every single day? Or will you be known as someone who was wise, invested intelligently in your future, and taught your family to do the same? Sharpen your mind so that you can make decisions that matter when it counts, so that you're not just floating through life. Mental fitness is so important. It is really the hub for the rest of your life. And I would just challenge you to be awake. Wake up to your own life. Stop being trapped in routine and comfort. If you have a dream, if you had a goal in life, what happened to it? Are you living that goal? Are you pursuing that goal? Are you pursuing your dreams? Or have you let life get you down? 9 out of 10 times that life gets you down and you give up on a dream, it's not because you physically failed. It's because you mentally could not get out of the rut you're in. Life has shrink wrapped around you and it's holding you in, and you're making zero intentional decisions towards your dreams and your goals and your passions. Don't let that be your legacy. Break free from that and start living intentionally, mentally, and physically. And of course, intentionality is a huge part of the third pillar at First Responder Fitness, the third pillar of reflection when it comes to the funeral test, and that is your spiritual fitness, living a life with purpose and faith. This is so important to me on a personal level, and I don't know where you are in your spiritual walk or your faith, and you know what? I'm okay with that. I don't need to know everything about what you believe, what you don't believe, and you don't need to know everything about what I believe, but I am going to tell you some things today. All the strength in the world, all the physical strength won't matter if your heart and your spirit is absent. You could be the most powerful man on the planet. You could have been the most stoic, most mentally strong person on the planet. And if your spiritual fitness is weak, your legacy is missing a huge portion of what it should have. When you are in the coffin and people are at your funeral, what will they say about you living with purpose and faith? Will they say that you were a person of faith? That you were a person who knew how to love deeply? Legacy isn't what you lift in the gym. It's how you love. It's how you serve. It's how you show up for other people. It's how you show up for your family. Strength without spirit is hollow. It's a hollow vessel. When I think about my first grandbaby, due any day now, I want to be more than just a name in her life. I want to leave wisdom with her. I want to leave love with her. And I want her to, when she reflects on me, to have a sense of security associated with being around me. I want to show her that, and all my grandkids, I want to show them what a life lived with purpose looked like. Are you living a life with purpose? Or are you just floating through life? What are you teaching through your actions? What is your legacy teaching through your actions, through your spiritual belief system? That is why spiritual fitness is so critical. It's your compass. It is your compass in life. Without it, nothing else guides you. You just go here or there. You're a rudderless ship in the water. I want my kids and grandkids to see in me a life lived with purpose. I don't know if I'm accomplishing that. That's partially why I'm recording this today, because I'm taking inventory of my life. And I would encourage you to take inventory of your life. What legacy are you leaving? What is your funeral legacy? Are you passing the funeral test? It is so important that we cultivate daily spiritual rituals. And this could be different for you, but I think of gratitude. I'm so grateful for everything that God has given me, by our great Creator has given me. I spend time in prayer and reflection. Maybe for you, it's acts of service, going out and serving other people. But you should let your actions contribute to your legacy. Not just your stats, not just your achievements. You may notice I put some trophies up this week. My kids found my box of trophies. They were kind of stored away. And they pulled out a few. And I put them in the back here, some of my world championship trophies. And there's just a few. I got so many trophies over the years. But you know what? This is garbage. These are stats. These are achievements. But this isn't my legacy. This is part of it. But man, I want my legacy to be something so much deeper, so much stronger, so much more important. I want my kids to, at the end of the day, let me just wrap this up in my eyes. At the end of the day, what I want my legacy to be is that of a man who was physically fit, who cared enough about his family that he was physically able to show up for them, that I was able to physically protect them if they ever needed it, that I was physically ready to defend and love and do all that I have to do to be the best man in their life. Mentally, I want them to know that I was mentally strong, that I was mentally determined, that I was strong mentally, that I was not afraid to show my emotions, that I could show love, compassion, and that I could show an intense humility in failure. And spiritually, nothing's more important than to leave a legacy, for me, to leave a legacy of loving Jesus Christ, who is my Lord. That is the most important thing to me, that my kids reflect on me and say, you know what? Through all of his flaws and all of his problems, that man loved Jesus. That's what I want my spiritual legacy to be. But maybe you want yours to be something different. But regardless, are you a person of gratitude? Are you a person of service? Are you a person of love? If not, do you want those things to be a part of your legacy? They won't be unless you take intentional, radical action. Take inventory. Really reflect on what you are leaving behind. Because people at funerals will say the nicest things about the worst people. You know, somebody in your family could be the the guy who's kind of the bum, the person who's always unemployed, the alcoholic, the drug addict, the problem person in your family, the black sheep. And when they die, you will say nice things about them, but in your heart, you will always remember their legacy of being the dysfunctional one. What do you want people to remember about you in their heart? Passing the funeral test is not about perfection. It's about showing up for your family, for yourself, for your generations to come every single day. It's about showing up physically, mentally, and spiritually for the people who matter the most. You owe that to them. You owe this to your loved ones, to be there and to show up daily, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Your legacy is written in every action you take and every inaction that you don't take. Your legacy and what you leave your children, your posterity, is up to you. It's written in everything you do, every hug, every word, every moment that you choose to live life intentionally. Now, I want to say that again because I want this to hit home. Your legacy is written in every action, every hug, every word, and every moment where you choose to live intentionally. Are you living intentionally or are you just living? Look at the people in your life. Every laugh, every conversation, every moment counts. Today, pick one thing in each pillar, physical, mental, spiritual, and do something intentional about it. Move your body with purpose. Sharpen your mind. Strengthen your spiritual life, your spiritual muscles with love. Start building a life that's remembered, not just noticed. And with our grandbaby being born this month, I want to be here, fully present, fully alive, fully strong, to see every first, the first smile, the first steps, to see every memory. That's the funeral test. That is what it reminds us. Don't wait any longer. Live life like it matters because it does. The funeral test doesn't wait. Legacy is built one day at a time. How will they remember you? If this episode resonated with you, would you do me a favor? And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Click like, click the bell button so you don't miss any episodes, and share this with a loved one. Share this with someone who matters, who needs to leave a legacy that counts. I'm Carl Wimmer with First Responder Fitness, reminding you, be good to yourself, be good to others, and as always, stay safe.